Hi guys. It's September the 30th, Sunday. It is now I think it's like 3:52. I don't know if it'll say it on here. Mocha's hiding right there in case you can't see her. We are officially, I believe, on week 3 now. So Mocha's last cage cleaning was 2 weeks ago. Yes, I'm aware that she's the only one here, obviously. So that probably does factor into the fact that there's less pee and poop here. But I know from experience that 1 week's worth of poop is quite a lot. But as you can see, aside from the ramp, which I wiped it all down because it was just gross, some of it fell off, or it was pretty dry, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted to tell you guys, although you guys can't smell it on the video, obviously, but I can tell you that there is absolutely zero smell. So this cage has never been spot cleaned. I don't spot clean. That is one of the advantages of using this type of bedding. I am tempted to try the fleece, but I just noticed that people say that there is a slight smell on fleece. And I understand the reasoning behind it. It's because, and I'll keep this one short because it's high def. But I know that it's because the urine is trapped underneath between the fleece and whatever's absorbing it. So there's got to be some smell, because once it's on the other side, it's not going to dry as fast. So the towel will have a stronger smell. Whereas this bedding, once it's been peed on, it can move when she runs, and once it's dry, she'll run over top of it and scatter it. So yes, it means that every little spot of pee on the bedding will be scattered all over this cage, but the thing is, it doesn't smell, and the cage is completely dry, which is why it probably doesn't smell. Once the baby gets here, I am going to seriously give this cage a thorough cleaning. The baby will arrive on Friday, October the 5th. So I will be cleaning it probably on Thursday night, late at night, as late as I can make it, because I don't work Friday, which works perfectly for me. I have not decided if I'm going to keep Mocha out of the cage until the baby arrives after I've cleaned it. I'll think it over. But the thing I wanted to mention is, now that there's 2, I want to see if I can go as far as I can get. So I'm actually not going to clean the cage until there is any kind of smell. I don't care if it's a small smell or subtly, but I'm not going to clean the cage until I'm sure I need to clean it. I want to see how long the bedding lasts, because I have a feeling I could get away with just cleaning the poop up at the end of every couple weeks, and just leaving the bedding in for a month. I don't think it will smell. Now, I haven't tried it with unscented soap, but the bedding no longer smells like scented soap. But there's no smell at all, and so I am eager. I'm actually gonna leave it, and so by the time I clean this on Thursday, it'll be 2.5 weeks. So we're getting pretty close to 3 weeks. Originally I was gonna clean it by the end of 2 weeks, but it doesn't smell, so I don't see any reason to do so. It's something worth investing on. It's actually even cheaper than fleece. The reason for that is because if any particular area is heavily soiled, like if you have more guinea pigs, if it's heavily soiled, you can just take that handful and toss it in the wash, or even hand wash it and lay it out to dry on a towel, and it will dry within a couple hours. Or you can toss it in your dryer along with your clothes. But as you can see, because there's so much bedding, and this bedding, the bedding you see in this entire cage, which is approximately a little over 50 liters. So it's equivalent to 1 bag of Carefresh. But it only cost me $24 to make it. That's how much the fabric costs. It'll cost, if you go to a coin laundry, approximately $5 to wash and includes dry. So about $30. But the thing is, if you think about it, we're on week 3, so we're talking at least 2 weeks already, so that comes to less than $12. And don't forget, this is reusable bedding. I can wash it, right? That's one of the advantages of this, is that it's washable. Now fleece, it's much easier, I guess, if you're just talking about grab and shake, but I didn't want to do fleece only because I'd have to scrape the hairs off, and all that other stuff. And then there's the hay, it gets clingy to it. I tried fleece. I briefly tried it, but I didn't do a full-on fleece even. A good thing, because it doesn't wash off. The hay just sticks to the fleece, whereas the hay on this doesn't stick. It just washes right off. The poop doesn't stick either once it's dried. When it's wet along with the bedding, like if she pees and poops in the same corner, when it's wet, it doesn't come off as easily unless you shake it carefully. Otherwise, you end up grabbing a handful and squishing it. But once it's dry, it falls right off. I like it, but I'm actually curious to know just how much poop is in here. Like, I can't wait till I remove this bedding and just scoop the poop. It's gonna be a massive pile because I haven't cleaned in 2.5 weeks. By the time I do it on Thursday, I will definitely make a video of the amount of poop, and I'd like to see the condition of the bottom of the cage. If the bedding's doing its job, there should be no smears, no stains, nothing, because the amount of bedding in the corners is enough to absorb any pile of her puddles, her pee. So there should be no stains of any sort. And there wasn't the last time I did it, but the last time I did it for 2 weeks. I didn't do it for 2.5. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to show you guys. I thought it was really amazing that this bedding, I never expected it to work this well. I mean, I know it works really well with my hamsters, but it's the first time I've skipped so many cleanings. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I just want to see. I'm doing an experiment just to see just how effective this bedding is. Obviously, with my hamsters, their urine smells, so I couldn't do that with them. But because the guinea pig's urine actually doesn't smell, so long as the spot doesn't remain damp, there is no smell. So if I was to take a handful of the bedding that Mocha peed in, let it air dry, and smell it, there's no smell. So so if people think the guinea pig's urine, where they pee on the fleece, it smells, it doesn't smell. Your cage should not smell if it's drying properly, and I think that's the main thing with the fleece. So I guess if some people were using potty pads and if they dried fast enough, I guess the cage wouldn't smell with fleece either. That's one of the advantages I was thinking of using fleece, is I wouldn't have to scoop the poop. But it's not that bad. I plan to get one of those handheld vax things someday, but not today. Okay, that's all.